Serving Amherst and Amherst Township, your hometown television station, Amherst City Cable.
Well, hello, sports fans. Welcome to the Sports Show. I'm your host, Ty House, along with the big homie,
Alex Squires. Ty, how are you? I was daydreaming,
Happy holidays!
Yeah, you too. Looking pretty festive around here.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Yeah, it certainly is.
Everywhere we go.
It'd be looking a lot more like Christmas if we had our Santa hats on.
By humbug. Today, we are going to talk about... It's almost...
Sports.
Of course, sports. But we got NBA.
Yeah.
We got some moves that might be getting ready to happen here.
Yeah.
I hear Stevenson might be going back to Indiana. Mm-hmm. We got people in the back want to talk about Kobe moving into number 3 on all-time scoring list.
It's big.
It's a lot of things going on. Mm-hmm. I want to talk about the bowl games. Want to get your predictions on the many bowl games if possible. Yeah. Johnny Manziel had his, oh my God. Mm-hmm. It's been an eventful weekend, right?
You wanted Johnny Manziel, and you got him.
It's going to take a minute. Because, ouch. Let's start there.
Yeah, there's not much to say, man. He was dreadful. The whole team was bad around him. Everyone was bad. But the whole team had been bad around Brian Hoyer for the past 4 games, and everyone wanted to say, Brian Hoyer's the problem. Mm-hmm. Brian Hoyer's the problem. Mm-hmm. Well, took Brian Hoyer out, put Johnny Manziel, and you still had the same things going on.
Right.
And look how bad they looked.
And it's curious because about the time that the offense went south was about the time they started getting back some key pieces.
Yeah, Josh Gordon.
And the tight end Cameron.
Yeah, and Cameron. Yeah, right. Yeah.
And I don't understand it. I hate that. Granted, they got 2 young guys in the backfield.
Yeah, that doesn't help.
The offensive line is
third string center.
It's rough.
Oh yeah,
it's pretty rough.
It is. We saw a downgrade. Mm-hmm. Obviously, a huge downgrade from Alex Smith to Nick McDonald, and then Nick McDonald gets hurt, and then we're down to our third string center, and the Bengals were getting pressure up the middle through the A gaps at will, right in Johnny Manziel's face the whole time, and he wasn't doing anything to help himself.
He was lost.
He was, man. He was overwhelmed. The spot was too big for him. Mm-hmm. The game was too fast for him. I think that he literally had no idea what he was getting himself into.
I think he'd be all right though.
I hope so.
I mean, in the long run, I think Johnny Manziel is gonna be okay.
There's not.
You can't put everything on Johnny Manziel.
Certainly,
like I say,
certainly not.
In order for him to do anything with a Josh Gordon, who, by the way, is out of shape, selling cars, eating hot dogs,
stoned,
popcorn, and we don't know what Cameron's been doing because he's been out with a concussion.
Yeah.
So it's like, you got to put some players around him for him to be successful.
You look like what happened to Taylor Gabriel. Taylor Gabriel was playing great.
Look, see, you just lost me like Taylor Gabriel.
Taylor Gabriel,
household name,
right? An undrafted free agent rookie that had been playing great for the Browns, just been giving them a lot of solid minutes as a wide receiver. All of a sudden, he's gone because we're trying to fit Jordan Cameron and Josh Gordon back into the mix, and neither of them have their NFL legs under them right now.
So coming in, where we in week 15?
Yeah, right. And Josh is just out there. God, Josh is just. They may have to think about getting rid of Josh. They really might.
If you done wasted all this time on him, you might as well hold on to him for at least one more year. Give him a good training camp. Let him and Johnny, be together for at least 1 year.
Yeah.
You spend some. You got a defense, man. There's a defense there. Even though you lost a few pieces in this past game with Gilbert and Hayden.
And Joe got hurt.
Hayden going down. The defense is stout.
Absolutely.
You got at least a good 2-3 year run out this defense.
Oh, without a doubt. And we didn't have Dansby in that game either.
Got Wintner back there.
Yeah,
he's a hometown favorite.
That secondary, that Browns secondary it's not even questionable that they're one of the best in the league. They're leading the NFL in interceptions. And Buster Screen, I've just been so impressed with him all season. Yeah, he's gotten toasted a few times. You know, every cornerback gets toasted here and there, except for the elite ones. But Buster Skrine has made some huge plays for this team, and he's like, if either Gilbert or Hayden, if either one of them's out, let alone both, he's really gonna have to step up in these next 2 games. But considering we've been mathematically eliminated,
we'll see. Because now is the time to evaluate players for next year.
Yeah, and that's why you got to keep Johnny
like I said,
right?
You got the defense, you got some key pieces, you got you got some wide receivers and a tight end, you got some pretty good young running backs. You got to focus on getting that offensive line together.
But those young running backs, and then you have you come out of the 2-minute warning, then you immediately have to call timeout. Out of the 2-minute warning, I mean that does happen. You know, you've seen it in the NFL before. It's very, very, very rare. It should never happen. That speaks to the youth of this team. You still got Terrence West in the backfield, doesn't know where you're supposed to line up. Crowell with his fumbling issue. You know, that's the risk you run organizationally by deciding to go with 2 rookie running backs.
Meanwhile, if the playoffs started today, the rest of the division
are they all in?
would be in the playoffs. Okay. You would have the Ravens against the Colts in the wild card game, and the Steelers versus the Bengals in another wild card game.
Yeah.
In the AFC. With the Patriots and the Broncos already clinched. Well, the Patriots, Broncos, and the Colts have already clinched their division.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, in the NFC, it's still up for grabs. The Cardinals have clinched a playoff spot, but not the division.
Right.
They got 2 tough games coming up against, I want to say, San Francisco and Seattle.
Yeah. And they have no quarterback. So
Nan.
Yeah. So it's going to be tough sledding for them.
You don't know Nan?
Nah?
You don't know Nan?
Is it a person?
You know Nan?
Let's get to the point here.
You don't know Nan. They don't have Nan quarterback. He is
that like
guy,
mollywopped?
Something like that.
Okay.
He is a guy, well, they had a quarterback that used to be a grocer, pack groceries.
Yeah.
This guy might do that too.
He's going to be soon.
I don't know. I don't even know his name. I don't know where he came from or anything, but he is the starting quarterback of the NFC leading 11-3 Arizona Cardinals.
Who are you talking about? Are you talking about Ryan Lindley?
Is that his name?
Well, they have 2 guys.
2 guys.
They have Ryan Lindley, the guy, he's been there. He's been in the organization for a while, a few years. And they have the rookie Logan Thomas out of Virginia Tech. Yeah. He has loads of talent, incredible arm strength, moves great. He's like 6'6", 260, big kid. But just his mechanics and his fundamentals are nowhere. He's not even close to being NFL ready.
Nope.
And this Lindley dude is just a bum who keeps hanging around somehow. So I don't know. They're gonna have to go with one of them. And
Arizona is definitely a team to look out for next year.
Next year, especially because they lost their, running back Andre Ellington, who was the guy that the offense filtered through, and now he's gone too. They have no quarterback. They're done.
The playoffs started today. My Lions will win the NFC North.
Go Lions!
Meanwhile, Green Bay would take on the Dallas Cowboys in Dallas, while the Seahawks would travel to the Saints.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be something?
I know, the Saints.
Didn't something like that happen a couple of years ago where the Seattle Seahawks snuck into the playoffs and had like a sub 500 record and they knocked the Saints off because the Saints had to come to Seattle?
Yeah, that was like
right
6 years ago.
That was right after the Saints won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. I remember that.
The next year. Now, if the playoffs ended today, Seattle would be, they're 10-4 right now. They would go to New Orleans.
And that's the
Saints are 6-8.
Yeah, right. But leading the division, that's how bad that division. And that's another reason, a little sidebar here. That's a lot of what I think, the AFC North, our division, played the whole NFC South this year and the whole AFC South. So you have that entire NFC South division. They're all bad.
Yeah.
And then you played Tennessee, Jacksonville, Houston.
So
that's
we shouldn't really be looking at nothing to come out of the NFC.
That's what I'm saying. And that's the thing is that the Browns, everyone.
The Colts don't have a defense.
Huh?
The Colts can't stop anyone.
Oh, they can't. It's a weird defense. It's a weird defense. I compare it a little bit to the Philadelphia Eagles defense, to where it's not exactly a bend but don't break because they do a lot of points and a lot of big plays. but the defense makes a lot of plays as well where they give up a lot of yards and points, but the defense scores points themselves. But not just but the Browns in general. Everyone talked about how good their record is. You should be happy because it's the best record we've had in a while. They've played we've played really nobody this year.
Did you bring back up the Browns? We was talking playoffs. The Browns ain't in the playoffs. We haven't been talking about the Browns in almost 10 minutes.
We're talking about the AFC North.
They're not in the playoffs. So basically, the AFC is going to come down to the New England Patriots because it's playoff season. Mm-hmm. Peyton Manning is already complaining about injuries.
Yeah.
And the Broncos haven't been looking on top of the game the past couple of games.
That's been a weird one for me. It's been I don't know what to really make of it.
They're stumbling into the playoffs, as they would say.
Well, it's either because they haven't been throwing very much. Peyton hasn't eclipsed 260 yards in 4 games. The 2 games prior to this past game, he was sub 200 yards in those games. Right. I can't tell if it's the Broncos, seeing what happened to them in the Super Bowl last year, because that defense is elite for the Broncos. And they've been running the ball really, really, really well. So I don't know if that's a product of them, seeing what happened to them and them, it's a copycat league, seeing them trying to do that, but in the back of their mind saying, okay, we're going to do that, but we're going to have Peyton Manning, so that's going to help us. Or if they're just saving Peyton's arm for the playoffs.
This is all about the Patriots. We got to take a break. We come back. We're going to be talking about we're going to talk about college bowl games. We're going to make some predictions. You're watching The Sports Show. We'll be right back.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Oh, look, a redhead. Staring contest. You still got it. I know.
Come alive with the forest.
The dad was cute.
You were looking right at us. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
If you store your guns properly,
I'll feel safer when I'm playing outside.
Safer when walking home.
I won't have to tell so many family members. I'm sorry.
I won't hear as many scary stories.
And I won't have to tell my kids. This isn't a drill.
Please.
Please, do it for us.
Your family, friends, and neighbors are all counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. Remember, always, lock it up. Visit ncpc.org.
Our town, our TV. Amherst City Cable.
Welcome back to The Sports Show. It's the time of the year where we're about to kick off all these bowl games.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of them.
Yeah, there always are.
It's only a couple that matter.
Right. But the more that exists,
a lot of bowl games.
The more money.
I guess that's about what it's about.
Yeah.
Sponsorships, money.
Yep.
See if you can get your fans to come. Let's start at the top, man. We got a lot to go through here over the next couple of minutes. Let's start at the top. The New Orleans Bowl kicks things off this weekend, if I'm correct. We got Nevada versus University of Louisiana Lafayette. Who you got?
Well, haven't seen either team this year. I'm gonna go with Nevada.
I'm going with University of Louisiana Lafayette.
Are we gonna write all these?
Raging Cajuns.
Are we gonna write all these down?
We recording it.
Okay.
New Mexico Bowl is Utah State versus UTEP, the University of Texas El Paso.
Right, 2 more teams I haven't seen once this year. I'm going with UTEP.
I'm going with UTEP as well. Might as well be a home game.
Yep.
Las Vegas Bowl. I do not understand why this team is here at the Las Vegas Bowl, but we got number 23 Utah taking on Colorado State.
I haven't seen Colorado State. Utah, did they beat USC?
Nope. They lost to USC and they lost to USC and USCLA. They lost to both of those guys out there.
Either way, they
beat Michigan though.
They're playing, in the Pac-12, and they were fairly competitive this year. I'm gonna go with Utah.
I'm gonna take Utah too. Idaho Potato Bowl. Western Michigan Broncos taking on Air Force. Who you got?
Western Michigan.
I'm going with Air Force. They got an awesome offensive attack.
Yeah, those teams always do.
Always do. Western Michigan coming out of the MAC. South Alabama and Bowling Green. Is that Bowling Green? No, that's Bowling Green State University. In the Camilla Bowl.
Bowling Green's a solid team. I'm going to take them.
Definitely taking Bowling Green in the Camilla Bowl.
Camilla Bowl.
Miami Beach Bowl. We got BYU versus Memphis.
BYU.
I'm going to take BYU as well. Boca Raton Bowl. Marshall. Almost undefeated.
Yeah.
Taking on the MAC winners, Northern Illinois.
Say, if it wasn't for that one game.
That one game?
That one game to where, what was that? What was the score of that game? Like 60-55 or something like that?
Idea.
Either way, I'm taking Marshall.
I'm going with Northern Illinois in this game.
What?
Yep, on the upset. Poinsettia Bowl.
This should be a good one.
Navy.
Yeah.
Versus San Diego State.
Taking Navy.
I'm taking San Diego State.
It's not basketball.
Popeye's Bahama Bowl. Somebody's going to Bahamas.
Banana Bowl.
Central Michigan University versus Western Kentucky University. Who you got?
Central Michigan.
Central Michigan all the way.
Yep.
The Hawaii Bowl. Fresno State versus Rice.
Fresno State.
I'm sorry, excuse me. The Bulldogs.
Definitely the Bulldogs. Rice, they're a choke.
Heart of Dallas Bowl. You have Illinois versus Louisiana Tech.
I saw Illinois this year. They're bad.
Bad.
Louisiana Tech, I haven't seen, but they have to be better than Illinois. Let's go with Louisiana Tech.
I'm going with the Big Ten. Go Fighting the Illini.
Of course.
The Quick Lane Bowl. The Quick Lane Bowl?
Lane Kiffin?
Quick Lane?
Yeah.
Bowl?
Quick Lane, like Castrol.
Quick Lane? It's an oil?
I think. Or like an oil changing.
What is the Quick Lane Bowl?
It's like an oil changing emporium, I assume.
However, it contains Rutgers versus North Carolina. Who you got?
I got North Carolina.
North Carolina again. I will stick with the Big Ten here. Rutgers.
Of course. They don't even count as Big Ten.
Petersburg Bowl. St. Petersburg Bowl. North Carolina State versus University of Central Florida.
Central Florida.
I'm going to go with Central Florida as well. The Military Bowl. We have Cincinnati versus Virginia Tech.
Virginia Tech.
This pitched two teams that both played Ohio State.
Yeah.
I think Cincinnati's going to get some revenge for the state of Ohio.
Yeah.
Cincinnati over Virginia Tech.
All right.
The Sun Bowl. You got the Arizona State Sun Devils.
Yeah.
Playing against the Duke Blue Devils. You got the Sun Devils or the Blue Devils?
Arizona State.
It's the Sun Bowl. It's probably being played somewhere in Arizona. You're going to have to go with Arizona.
Somewhere sunny.
Independence Bowl. Miami, Florida. God, there's a lot of bowls.
Yeah.
Miami, Florida versus South Carolina.
South Carolina.
I'm going to go with Miami. Pinstripe Bowl, which is played in New York at the Yankee Stadium. Boston College versus Penn State.
Penn State.
Penn State, Big Ten.
Big Ten.
Go. Holiday Bowl. We got number 25 Nebraska taking on number 24 USC.
USC.
He's going to take the Trojans in the Holiday Bowl. I'm sticking with the Big Ten all day. Nebraska. Liberty Bowl. Texas A&M University versus West Virginia. Should be a good matchup.
West Virginia.
I'm looking for Texas A&M to rouse up some of that good luck they had at the beginning of the season when they knocked off South Carolina and they knock off West Virginia in the Liberty Bowl. Russell Athletic Bowl. We got Oklahoma taking on number 18 Clemson. I'm going with Oklahoma. Advocare V100 Texas Bowl. How many bowls do Texas got?
It's a big state.
I bet you they all played at Jerry Jones World.
Not all of them.
Probably about most of them.
Maybe.
Arkansas versus Texas.
Probably about most
Look
of them,
who's
yeah.
playing there. Texas.
Arkansas, Texas?
Arkansas, Texas.
I'm going with Arkansas.
I'm going to go with Texas just because it's in Texas. Music City Bowl. We got, this would be a good game also. Notre Dame taking on LSU.
Yeah, let me go back to that one.
You want to come back to that one?
No, I'll go with LSU.
You want to go with LSU?
Yeah.
That's the Music City Bowl. It seemed like Notre Dame turned into a different team after that loss to Florida State.
Yep, absolutely they did.
So I'm going to go with LSU as well. The Belk
Bowl.
Belk Bowl?
Mm-hmm. It's all right.
Get us an Amherst Bowl.
Yeah.
Georgia taking on number 13 Georgia, taking on number 20 Louisville. This would be a good game.
Definitely Georgia.
Definitely Georgia?
Definitely.
They don't have they got a plenty of running backs down there in Georgia.
Say they lost Gurley and that Nick Chubb kid came in and he was
Sony
running
guy
all over
is awesome
everyone.
too.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go with Georgia.
Whatever
Foster Farms Bowl. Go ahead.
What happened to Keith Marshall? Do you remember him?
Nope.
Him and Todd Gurley, they were like boys growing up, and then they were both at Georgia their freshman year together, and they were running all over everyone, and then Gurley took the job over, and then Keith Marshall was nowhere to be found.
Nope.
Maybe he's hurt. Okay, go ahead.
Might be in jail. Foster Farms Bowl. Maryland versus Stanford.
Stanford.
Nope. Big Ten.
10.
Maryland all day. Chick-fil-A Bowl. Number 9 Mississippi taking on TCU.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Defense versus offense.
I really don't believe in either team, really. But let's go with TCU.
In other words, this could be the make-believe bowl.
Yeah, right. But let's go with TCU.
I'm going to take Mississippi just to be on the opposite side.
Well, TCU is the Lord on their side.
Mississippi has rebels? I don't know. We'll just say how to come back against the Lord. I mean,
yeah, be
Fiesta
careful.
Bowl.
Be careful.
How do we got Boise State in the Fiesta Bowl? They're not a household name anymore.
Certainly not. They've fallen off since
Boise
Chris Peterson
State
left.
Taking on Arizona.
Arizona
all day. Rick Rod.
Yeah.
Orange Bowl. We got Mississippi State taking on Georgia Tech.
It'll be a good game, but I'm going to take Mississippi State.
Hey, they say if they the cream of the crop, they was number one most of the season. Got to go with Mississippi State
And
there.
they better be Georgia then, right?
Outback Bowl. Auburn versus Wisconsin.
Auburn.
This is the one time I'm going to have to go against the Big Ten.
Really?
Yep. It's a lot of missing pieces going to be, Wisconsin doesn't have their coach anymore.
Yeah. But oftentimes we've seen teams rally in these situations.
The running back done already decided he going to the NFL.
Yeah.
This bowl really doesn't mean anything to them. So I'm going to go Auburn. Cotton Bowl. Michigan State versus Baylor. You know who I'm going with.
Michigan State.
You
go first.
Michigan State.
Michigan State.
Citrus Bowl. Missouri versus Minnesota.
Missouri
has already lost to a lower tier Big Ten team earlier this season in Indiana. So I'm going to go to the Big Ten. Let's go Minnesota. They have an awesome running back there in Minnesota, too. I don't know his name, but I just seen the boy run.
I know you're talking about.
He's amazing.
I know you're talking about.
In the Rose Bowl, we got number 2 Florida State taking on number 3 Oregon.
In a romp.
This is last year's Heisman Trophy winner versus this year's Heisman Trophy winner.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with last year's Heisman Trophy winner.
Of course.
Stay undefeated. In the Sugar Bowl, we got Ohio State and Alabama. Bama. I hate to go against the Buckeyes, but
you gotta be realistic, you know.
Then you got the Armed Forces Bowl, Houston versus Pittsburgh. Okay. Tax Slayer Bowl, Iowa versus Tennessee. Iowa. Alamo Bowl, Kansas State versus UCLA.
That's a good game.
Yeah, definitely going to be a good game.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely going to be watching that one. UCLA as well. Cactus Bowl, Washington versus Oklahoma State. Birmingham Bowl, ECU versus Florida.
Washington and Florida.
GoDaddy Bowl, Toledo versus Arkansas State.
Show some love to the Rockets.
Go Rockets. Mm-hmm. Go Rockets. Go Rockets. Go Rockets. Go Rockets. Hey, man, I hear that Stevenson might be going back to Indiana.
Yeah, I heard that too. I also heard he might be coming to Cleveland.
I also heard that Chris Mullins might be the next coach of Sacramento.
Who?
Chris Mullins.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what do you make of that firing? I mean, they're about 500, you know. DeMarcus Cousins, he's missing some time, you know. You would think.
You know, they were on the verge of losing the team, the city.
Yeah.
They got some new management there. They want an exciting brand of basketball, and he was more of a defensive-minded. Popovich native.
Yeah.
And
well, what's more important, putting an exciting product or a winning product?
They want an exciting product
over a winning one.
Right now, that's what they want. The general manager say he won't high flying, ripping and running up and down the floor.
That doesn't make any sense.
That's what you'll get with Chris Mullin.
But whatever, yeah. Yeah, you will.
That's why he's the front runner over George Karl, who's already threw his hat.
Yeah.
In the mix. Like, hey, I'll coach the Sacramento Kings. But they're like, hey, we're going to check out Chris Mullin. He's never coached ever. See what's going on in Golden State.
They couldn't have been too excited about, you know, George Karl.
I mean, he was the coach of the year when he got fired.
Yeah, but that's weird in itself.
It was. You got a lot of young owners in the league now.
Yeah.
And when younger generations and older generations tend to clash.
Yeah.
And that's basically what's going on. Kind of same thing going on with the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah.
New ownership, colliding with the coach. Just time to move on. Kind of like it is for us. We got to get ready to get out of here.
That was beautiful. That was so good.
We got to get ready to get out of here. This has been the Sports Show. Is it the last show of the year?
I think so.
It's the last show of the new year, 2014. We'll definitely be back 2015 talking more sports. Whoa, college basketball will kick into high gear when we come back.
Yeah, we'll be real into that when we come back.
I think we'll have all of the results from what's going on. We're ready for an NBA and an NCAA championship game and more. So stick around and join us next time here on the Sports Show. That's the big homie,
Alex Squires.
And I'm Ty House. Peace.
Serving Amherst and Amherst Township, your hometown television station, Amherst City Cable.